Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Paranormal Karen, funny too. Paranormal Karen, she's so spooky. Oh, and did I mention she's funny too? Yeah, cha-cha-cha.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Paranormal Karen. You cannot believe how hard it was to get to this podcast. I'm here with Sister Sue. That sounds awful. That sounds like you're a nun.
I knew you were going to say that. I didn't know you were going to say that, but I always think it.
Oh, you always think
I guess
that.
I should have told.
We've got to get you a better name. All right, so we're doing 3 things today. You guys like the potpourri shows, I think, where there's a lot of things. And then I have to say something about my New Year's Eve show. Or it wasn't New Year's Eve. It was my New Year's prediction show. So today, Sue and I, my sister Sue and I, have 2 great ghost stories that we're going to read you. And then I have found an article on the Mothman showing up in Chicago. We're going to read that. Okay. And then I'm doing a series. I thought it was just one, but I'm doing bits and pieces of could you fake your own death, and all the things that are listening to you and all the ways Big Brother is listening. And we just spent an hour trying to connect our Susie's Alexa tap, because we are going to see all the creepy things about tap, all the things that if you ask Alexa, is she really listening? Or we're getting a whole bunch of stuff to creep you out with Alexa. But I know that my friend tried to add a Wikipedia page on with me, and Wikipedia wouldn't let them because they said I was irrelevant.
And you will be relevant now.
I will.
And I would also like your audience to know, it took us so long to reset up Alexa that maybe Amazon has some idea this is going on.
Oh, I know. Well, they know that
they don't want our conspiracy theories out there.
And then we did it. Oh, that's a right one. So wait, but Wikipedia, see, if I was in Wikipedia, if Wikipedia found me relevant, Alexa would know who I am. Let me see if Alexa knows who Paranormal Karen is. Okay. Alexa, who is Paranormal Karen?
I'm not sure.
Also, we have a tap, so.
Oh, we have a tap, yeah, so it doesn't have the blue lights on top.
And because I would be afraid to have Alexa listen to me. But guess what? Maybe she's listening to me anyway.
Oh, I know.
That could be part of all this, too.
All right, and now I have to defend myself. I have to say something about my New Year's Eve predictions, okay?
Do it.
Okay, so on the show, it's actually Christmas Eve now, but I taped my prediction show about 3 weeks before it went up for New Year's, and I had never done predictions for like the world. And I kept getting that bad things were going to happen in Turkey, that something's going on in Turkey, that bombs were exploding. And wouldn't you know it, I should have put the day on there I said it, because between the time I taped it and now Christmas Eve, there's all kinds of problems with Turkey. So I just want to say, I know that I don't think that's fair. It's like when we're doing the podcast, Karen and Kira, and they say something and you go, I knew it. I go, that's not a good psychic that knows it after you say it.
So she just wanted to clarify that for you.
Right. So, okay. So, and how are you enjoying the podcast, Sue?
I'm just doing a little editing, but other than that, I'm good.
Okay. So, should we get right to the stories, or do you want me to read that first one?
No, I can read it. I don't know which one you want to start with. You have a lot to say about these.
I do?
I feel like you do. I only have one here. It doesn't look like I have both.
It's Emily. Mm-hmm. This isn't all Emily's because I put 2 on here. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what I got from one of the documents.
Oh, no, there's Sarah.
Oh, okay.
We got Emily and Sarah. Okay,
right.
So let's do Emily, and then I'll tell you, let's start
Cut
with
in anytime you want.
Okay.
Okay.
Or Alexa, feel free to cut in anytime you want.
Yes, we have to turn around. Wait, let's see if she knows who our president is.
Okay.
Who is our president?
The United States president is Donald Trump.
She knew that one.
Yeah.
Apparently he's not irrelevant. Okay. All right, this is from Emily. Hi, Karen. My name is Emily, and for the past couple of years, I've been seeing or hearing things that my family or others do not. Since I was about 13, I would hear whistling in my room at night, and it was always a different tune. I would tell my parents about it, and they figured it was my window. She has a pretty talented window, apparently.
Yes. Or it's like in that Geico commercial where Grandma's nose is whistling.
Oh, isn't that funny?
That's a funny answer for her to tell her family. Our window is very talented.
We live in a fairly new... That was me. You do know that, right?
Everyone knows Courage snorts throughout my... He's lying here.
Because he's bored. All right, let's see. We live in a fairly new house, but my father checked it and nothing. I'm pretty sure they assumed that I was being a kid and would always tell me that I have a crazy imagination. The following years, until the age of 16, I constantly heard the whistling and things would be placed in different locations. And one time I was driving and my radio was off. I know because my radio is one of those that light up like a rainbow. Anyway, I was driving and all of a sudden a loud robotic voice came through my speakers. I had never heard this before, especially a type of voice. So basically, I love it that she described her radio lighting up like a rainbow. That was pretty darn good, Emily. I don't know what the voice said, and it wasn't static, like it was very clear. I told my parents about it and nothing came of it. All right, so right now, no one's heard anything. Poor her. I hate that. But here we go, guys. One day I was in the car with my mom. In her car, should I say. I heard it again, loudly. My mom heard it too. We were obviously shocked. But since then, I haven't heard it. Now, I want to know what, Emily, tell us what your mom said. Since she heard it that time, I would hope she would believe Emily from all the other times and not think she's very creative and imaginative. Okay. At the age, and now Emily's going to give us a little bit about her life as this all goes along. After the age 17, things died down and I heard nothing, but I always would get a feeling of someone around me no matter where I was. I graduated high school and everything was fine. I went into my freshman year of college the following year. It was a common thing for me to see things out of the corner of my eye, but I never actually saw something. So that's kind of like when you have those little black things or white things float on the side, you think? Or like a little shadow?
No, but you know what is a key to this? Because a lot of people do see things out of the side of their corner of their eye, and so do I, and it can become usually the left side. I don't know why, seeing things out of the left side of your eye, but I have a lot of floaters, and I know the floaters look quite different. So people know. The only thing is I don't trust it when I have my glasses on, because my glasses reflect. But if you don't have your glasses on, then
you have to worry?
Yes.
Okay. It was finals, and I was low on sleep. So here, we're jumping right in here. One night before an algebra final, I had a dream where I was in my room on my bed, laying on my stomach with my face facing the doorway. Okay, picture this because the next part I do not love. In the beginning of the dream, my arms are extended, pushing myself away from my pillow. There are hands coming from my pillow, pulling me into it, and I'm resisting and screaming for my life. I remember being absolutely terrified. I am seeing myself doing this. I'm not feeling it. After maybe 6 seconds of me fighting this, I see myself get pulled to the pillow, and it goes black and silent. And hold on, I'm changing pages. For a while. Okay. It flashes back to my room, and now I am in my body, first-person view. I'm laying on my stomach on the bed, face towards the doorway. The room is dim, and there are hands coming from the headboard holding my head to the pillow. I can still remember feeling the touch of the hands. I can't say anything or move, but I remember trying to the whole time. I hear a woman's voice in my ear, and I feel her breath too. Hopefully she did not have garlic. I'm not making fun of this, Emily, because this is terrifying.
That's how you have to, that's the only way Sister
I have to laugh
Sue
a little.
gets through it.
I can't, I have no idea what she's saying. It was just like a bunch of words being whispered fast in my ear. This goes on for about 2 minutes. I finally wake up and I was sweating, heart racing, and crying. I've always been a person who has very vivid dreams. I keep a notebook near my bedside to write stuff down. This same year, I have had a dream about our small town. I'm in the town. The town is only 5 buildings. Yes, very small. Anyways, I turn to my left and I see a building, so I enter. Inside, I see many women on sewing machines, and I can tell it's a different era. An old fat man is giving what I believe to be a tour. The word singer is all over, so I assume we're talking about the Singer Sewing Factory. I join the group, and he takes us down these stairs in the back for some reason. We go down the steps and pass the basement to another room, but I pause and stay back from the group because I see what I believe were 3 dead soldiers lying on the dirt in the basement ground covered with burlap material, so I never really saw them. So she's basically, let me read that again. We go down the steps and pass the basement to another room, but I pause and stay back from the group because I see what I believe were 3 dead soldiers lying in the dirt basement ground covered with burlap material. So I never really saw them. I think maybe they weren't there. She just thinks that they're okay. I wake up and write the dream down. I write what the man looked like and the whole story. My mom was cleaning my room one day and found my notebook with my dreams. She read that dream and did research on it. My mother came to me and showed me the picture of the man I saw and that the Singer sewing machine was started in our town. Hey, that's oh, well, awesome. Gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
She went through a portal or something.
I guess you would say that.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not just Sister Sue, I'm Skeptic Sue, and this is quite something else. Wow, yeah, it is. The man had many wives, I believe more than 20, and that was her question mark, not mine. And 3 of his children had died.
Oh.
Yeah. My mom finally started believing the things I would see, or I think I would see. Good for, okay, I'm glad this family reunion is going on now. My dreams kept being vivid and crazy, but I still kept having the dream with the woman. It was a reoccurring dream, you could say. Every time it was the same, but I noticed the room was always the exact way it is in real time. Things happen at college too. I'm now 20 and took a chemistry final today. It's a room of all girls and my teacher is the only guy. I kept hearing a conversation between 2 men in the room and I listened and I couldn't really tell what was being said. I figured it was in the hallway, so I ignored it. It kept on going for 5 minutes maybe, and it kept getting louder and louder. No one else was even paying attention to it. In the conversation, the only word I heard was my name, Emily, being said. It eventually stopped. After the final, I was leaving the school. Other kids are walking around outside, and I always look around because I'm a girl and you never know what's going to happen. As I'm looking around, I see a man, not a teen, a man staring at me from about 40 feet away. He's wearing 80s clothes and a coat that is blocky with bright colors, Levi's and black Converse. I stop and I stare at him. I'm completely confused, and still no one else is paying attention to this odd man on campus. Did I say old before? I guess odd. I guess.
I don't think you said old because
okay.
I pictured him as being younger.
Okay. In the moment, I pushed it off as just a weirdo. And people dress like that now because apparently the 80s are coming back.
Which is
Thank
the most terrifying thing so far.
I know. Nice, yeah. The whole point of this is I'm not sure if I'm clairvoyant or not. I have trouble handling my emotions sometimes, and it gets overwhelming. I always break down and cry, but I'm thankful I have the support of my boyfriend. I never tell anyone these things are happening, though, because it very rarely does my family believe me. And if I am, what do I do to handle it? Oh, clairvoyant, sorry. If I'm not, what do you do to handle the crazy stuff? Ha ha. But thank you for reading this, if you did. Your podcast has really opened up my eyes to the possibility of in our universe. Keep it up, Karen.
Yay. Okay. So, a whole bunch of stuff there, but I did answer this. I'm moving my microphone. And yes, I obviously do think, clairvoyant is probably one of the things that she is. I think she's probably also empathic. And I think there is a whole sort of, especially since she had the Singer sewing machine dream. You know what I mean? That's sort of a traveling through time, 2 dimensions sort of thing. Okay. Or even being empathetic and picking up what's going on in that building. In other words, she probably could have gone in there as a medium, if she knew how to kind of capture those skills and got the same thing. I wonder if the guy's 3 kids that passed away were boys. Interesting that they were soldiers. But when would that have been with the singer-song machine?
It certainly would not be the 80s.
No. Well,
that's a whole different one.
Things. Yeah. So I think that this is one of those things where a bunch of stuff is going on for Emily. Are you looking at me skeptical, or are you
No,
just listening?
I'm not. I'm probably more concerned than you are.
Oh.
I always think the physician sort of way.
Oh, no. Well, you know what, though? Here's the thing. Emily didn't tell me how old she is.
She's in college. So.
Right. But the dream tells me more. First of all, the whistling, we're going to get to the whistling in a second. The dream that she had that actually ends up being kind of historically correct, that to me tells me that she's not crazy, because you don't have hallucinations about things that really happened.
Right, and I don't think she's crazy. That's,
right.
I think hearing her name a whole bunch of times somewhere, like, that
to me is a couple of things. That's telepathic. Okay. Sonia used to have that happen a lot. Sonia, the animal communicator, because when you communicate with animals, that's telepathy. So she knows what Courage is thinking through telepathy. So sometimes when Sonia goes to bed at night, she will lie down to fall asleep and she'll hear all these voices, like so many people talking at once, because she's sort of picking up that thought level of telepathy. But also, if Emily has mediumship or psychic skills, like I believe that she does, there's probably spirits looking for her. That's the problem a lot of mediums have, is they kind of shine a different light that spirits can see. So they would be like, hey, over here. That's why she might also get overwhelmed empathetically. So did I kind of explain that?
Yes.
So I'm saying Emily's in tune. And as I say with everyone, there's a book called Witch's Shield that everyone should get. But here's the good news. The guy that wrote it, Christopher Penczak, is going to be on the podcast, hopefully in February. So help for all these young millennials who are way more in touch. I'm sure, January 4th, when the, Natalie Gray episode came out, which is very interesting. She talks about how schizophrenia is misdiagnosed, that it's people that are actually seeing through dimensions and they're actually a higher vibration. I think the next generation, where like right now you see a lot of people with autism, schizophrenia is going to start to be the next generation after, and people are going to have to start to understand it and see that these people are not crazy. They're seeing more than we are. Okay. But I don't think Emily is schizophrenic. I think she had an episode where she saw that. And also when she saw the guy that was dressed like the 80s, that was during exam time, right? Stress.
Well, yeah, she said, I think she had 2 that were stressful. One was the algebra final?
Right.
And then, what was the other one? I moved my paper. The one was when she heard the man, right? Well, she was doing something in a class.
And we noticed this is like the third one, like the guy that actually got bit by the demon. He was taking another test. This is when there's really stressful it's a lot of exams.
Yes, they were stressful. They're always stressful. The one thing that I wanted to cry for you, Emily, was that dream with the
holding her down.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know that like some of this is, what did you say, she's an empath? Is that what you used the word?
Well, that's something different too.
I mean, I've heard, doctors would call it, I would assume, night terrors.
Yeah, night terrors.
Right, because I had a little student, the mom said she'd go for, I don't know, at least 15 minutes. They couldn't calm her down. And I don't know how much she remembered.
Right. And I hope that my microphone just did that. You know what? I just covered up my microphone by mistake. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to
check it. Okay, people. We'll be back.
And then this would be a good place for an ad. But we're not done with you, Emily. Hey, you guys, looking for a great book? Never Give In to Fear, Laughing All the Way Up from Rock Bottom is the National Indie Excellence Award winner. This critically acclaimed, funny and dramatic memoir describes an emerging stand-up comic's drug-fueled descent into the underworld, escape from human traffickers, homelessness, and ultimate redemption. I promise you guys, this is going to be a movie someday as one of the most inspiring stories I've ever heard. And after I read the book, I bought 20 copies and I sent it to my friends who then bought 20 copies and sent it to their friends. And if you have not yet karmically received your copy, go to martymac.com and order Never Give In to Fear. I cannot say enough things. You guys know. I don't read. I read this book. I picked it up. I could not put it down. Never Give In to Fear, Laughing All the Way Up from Rock Bottom at martymac.com. martymac.com. Okay, everyone, sorry. My microphone got folded under and I thought something terrible happened. But we're still back on Emily. So you're talking about the paralysis where she was in the bed being held down?
Yeah.
That one I'm not sure about. That literally could be sort of a physical thing that's happening with sleep paralysis, or it could be maybe that sleep paralysis is somewhere in between, because it sounded like she was sort of caught between dimensions. But so
or as I
night
say,
terrors.
Having a bad dream.
Yeah. Did you ever see? There was a Dateline where the guy had night terrors, and he woke up one night and he was trying to break his wife's neck like it was a deer, which I know that's not even better that you would do that to a deer. But I thought, I bet Dad would do that and then say, "Yeah, I was killing a deer in my sleep."
I know. So there's a lot of other things with dreams that...
Right. So, but she's got 4 or 5 things going on there all at once, which makes me think, even if you just write off that one as sleep paralysis, there's a lot going on there.
Yeah, because obviously the historical dream that she had. Also, Emily, I'd like to know if you have to take any medication such as NyQuil, because anytime I take something like that makes me go to sleep, my dreams are really vivid. But I'm sure she is a kid and doesn't do that. But I'd like to know.
You know what, too? Yeah, but I bet through these...
She would have told us that, yeah.
And also, the whistling.
Yeah, what's that all about?
Turns out there's a lot of... a friend of mine, because I called my friend Jen, and she was like, yeah, we've gotten a lot of EVPs of whistling. And there's a couple of ways to go with that. First of all, it could just be a ghost whistling, okay? Like literally a ghost whistling, just walking through, whistling a song. But whistling's a very interesting sort of... not only do ghosts do it, I feel like that's a fairy or an elemental thing. That might be a different kind of spirit. Did you just make a face because I said fairy?
No, we went right off the ghost stories right into the...
yes, because you don't listen to all the podcasts.
I do.
Okay.
I've heard both the fairy and the elemental. I'm just amazed. I'm on one where we're really discussing
yes, so I thought it'd be fake. But here's the thing. Did you ever know about whistling in Hawaii? You never whistle on the beach in Hawaii.
Why?
Because you're summoning some sort of... I'll get the whole story on this for the next podcast we do. But when you whistle, you're sort of summoning some spirits, a warrior from Hawaii, and it's like people lose their minds.
Oh.
Yeah, and I got to get my friend Dee when I go to Vegas. She went through an island and with some ghost hunters in Hawaii and was like, yeah, no, never again. And she's not afraid of anything. So whistling is actually a very powerful thing, but I really think she just had something moving through her place that was whistling all the time.
What about that robot voice?
On the radio, I've had that happen. It's funny because sometimes when something is a robot voice, it can sit like when a spirit comes down, say someone has passed, say someone's coming down to visit us right now. They're in this higher vibration. Don't worry, they're not really coming. I see the look on your face.
I know. The more I get away from and they were walking down the hall and no one was there, to somebody's holding me down with their hands around my neck. There's a big difference here. Yes. I might have to go back.
Right. Well, what happens is when a spirit comes down to visit us, we're at such a low vibration, it's like walking through mud for them. So sometimes you can picture it like they're having trouble communicating. So something is trying to communicate with her, but it's coming across as a robot. Or sometimes people may see something that looks robotic because it can't quite move in this vibration. So it could be something like that. But I still think she's more than clairvoyant. I think she's medium. She's got some mediumship going on and some other stuff that she is the example of the next generation that's way more in touch than the rest of us. So, but I do have to I'm going to read next time. I'm glad I remembered that on whistling and what happens in Hawaii.
Write that down.
Okay. I'll write that down. Okay. And we got another ghost story.
Okay. This
Thank
one,
you, Emily.
yes, and Sarah, who's coming up, I did some research on yours. Emily, yours just horrified me, so I couldn't.
So thank you. That's what we
So
want.
thank you, Emily, and you scare me. You scared me just the part about that bad dream. Other than that, and if you've never heard it, Mike Birbiglia is a sleepwalker, and he does the funniest bit about that. Sleepwalk With Me, I think it's called.
Okay, is that a podcast or a
I think it's
thing?
on This American Life, but I think you can look it up. It's also a movie. Okay. Sarah says, and I want to make sure, I hope I'm going to pronounce these right, Sarah. I'm going to do my best here. I frequently have hypnagogic, I think I would say is how you would say that, hallucinations during sleep. I've read up on the phenomenon, but there isn't much research on the subject, which brings me to my question. Could I be seeing different vibration or dimensions?
Yep, we're back on the Singer sewing machine. Isn't it funny that I got these two together?
Yes, it is.
Well, it's not ha-ha funny.
No, but hers, when I looked it up, I found what she found. And let me get through this because I have the doctor's interpretation, which is not schizophrenia.
No, I don't think
Neither
anyone has
was it on
schizophrenia.
Sarah's.
Okay.
I just want to make that clear.
On Emily's, okay.
Or Emily. Sorry, Emily. Okay. So the things I see are always startling, causing me to jump out of bed and react before I even know what's going on. I always see my room how it is in real life. The only thing that is different is the figures I see. This morning, it was a tall man with a scraggly, low ponytail staring right at me on my side of the bed. I jumped up and my heart was pounding out of my chest. Then he's just gone after my brain kicks in and I'm staring at a wall, still in shock after thinking someone has broken into my house. I've seen a young boy standing on my side of the bed pointing at me. I sometimes see, and here's my scary part, sometimes see bugs or spiders crawling up the wall. I have seen my ceiling falling in on us. I was pregnant and almost threw my husband out of bed because I saw the ceiling falling on us. Once I woke up grasping my husband's head because I was seeing thousands of needles stuck in his face. You can't see my face, but if you could, Karen could describe it to you as being
a lot of needles in
a lot
her
of
face.
pain. Very strange. I always wonder about this because I have had spirit and shadow figure experiences when I awake and have also had witnesses to these experiences, so I can't deny them if I wanted to. Let's see. I feel like I'm sensitive or intuitive, maybe. I'll randomly think of someone and they call me. I have random thoughts that end up happening. Nothing is crazy, but these things start catching my attention when they happen consistently. I guess I'm just wondering if this could be more than just DMT releasing into my brain as I sleep, says the literature. Can I say something first?
Yep, do it first.
Okay, so Sarah, when I was younger, I had pretty active epilepsy, and the part of my brain that was affected, I guess that's what it was. I would give me little hallucinations as well. Yours sound worse than mine. But like one time I thought something was crawling out of the television and was reaching at me. And then one time when I was running, there was like, a big like a Mack truck, I guess we can call it, like a huge thing, coming down the road. But it was like 2 blocks away, and I grabbed the person I was running with, and I thought that it was going to hit us. So it wasn't near us at all. So I guess that your brain can do all kinds of weird things.
Well, wait a minute.
Yeah.
So now I have some questions for you.
Also, my memory is really crappy. I think partly due to the drugs I've taken all this time. So I may not be able to answer your question.
We talked about epilepsy with Natalie Gray.
Oh, so that I didn't listen to that.
Right. Even though you listen to all of them, you must miss this one. I think there is something to that it is a little bit other dimensionally.
Well, then.
But also, okay, when you saw something coming out of the TV, was this during a...
Yes. These are only during seizures.
Only during seizures, which would lead to another thing that... Okay, 2 things. You know what she was talking about when she said DMT?
No.
Okay, that's when you take ayahuasca or something like that. The DMT is, it's also the affected,
I don't know what ayahuasca is.
Okay. DMT is, when you have hallucinations. Also, when people die, they think the DMT is they see the light.
Oh, okay.
When I did ayahuasca, which is the drug where you go and you do it with a shaman, and DMT comes through mushrooms.
All right.
And you do mushrooms and stuff like that. So you have sort of psychedelic hallucination stuff like that. So she was wondering if her brain was just releasing too much DMT at the time.
Okay.
Okay. I still think with the seizures, that is somewhat of like the schizophrenia where you're seeing through a different dimension or something else happening. But the doctor just said it was a part of your brain. Probably your doctor told you it was.
I looked that up.
Okay.
But
what did it say?
Basically what I'm saying, that all the different parts of your brain that were affected, it wasn't a chemical thing, but it was like a short circuit thing. Depending on where it is in the brain, you have different symptoms. So mine were all like things would get super loud and my body would feel kind of like it was crackling and or melting in the bed. Like if I was lying down, it would almost feel like it was melting.
I think that's
I guess I could be on this little thing a little bit.
You don't do that anymore, do you?
Well, do I have to find some wood?
Okay.
Yeah, I do have my license, everyone.
So, but now I'm interested.
Now you're worried to drive with me. That's why she doesn't.
I'm going to find out more about epilepsy and paranormal
thank goodness.
experiences. I know.
Well, but I do want to say something else to her. So when I looked all these things up, Sarah, which I know you did too, a lot of the characteristics that they gave for is it sleep apnea probably? That's the thing where you have to wear the mask and all that business. That was one example. And then they said a lot of times if you have that, you'll have what you described. But you know what? They say that, oh yeah, you'll have this. If they don't tell you why. So I see what you mean where there's not a lot of help out there.
Right.
So they tell you can have it.
And you know what else they also don't want to say is, it could be paranormal. What if this is all just information we'll have at another time when we realize, people can see through dimensionals, but right now they want to say, oh, it's your brain. And I say, what if it's both?
I say, you might be right, but I'm skeptical. No, I'm kidding. And the other,
no, you can be the skeptic.
Well, that's my job. The other thing I saw, they had a pretty high percentage of people that would see, like with the kind of hallucinations, the hypnagogic, I think it is. Hypnagogic, I'm sure it is. There was one kind that you'd get when you were falling asleep and one kind when you were waking up. And I think it was the one, obviously, where you were waking up, if it's what you had, where you would see people. I don't think it was the other way around. And I thought, wow, so that means maybe a lot more people than we know have this thing. Because how many ghost stories do we do where somebody says, well, there was somebody at the bottom of my bed?
Exactly. That's what I was just going to say.
It can go reverse too, right? That so somebody sees this. It doesn't mean that they have sleep apnea. That
I once saw a young man standing in a denim coat and a denim shirt over my bed. And here's the thing. At one point in my life, I was meditating. When I first learned to meditate, I meditated an hour every day. And that was when I started. That was such a good thing for my brain. But I started waking up out of my body, like totally conscious, looking down at my body, like thinking I had died. And that's when I also saw the kid standing over, just watching me sleep. And as I have said before, there's no one I would like to see more than Liam Neeson. But if I'm not expecting to see Liam Neeson and he's at the bottom of my bed, it's very upsetting to see Liam Neeson.
It wasn't even him.
It wasn't even him. It's even worse if I'm going to have somebody scare me. But I do believe that two things. When you are falling asleep or when you meditate a lot and you're in that alpha stage, that is what they find is mediums that really do connect with people on the other side. They can get to that alpha stage faster, or it's a different vibration. I think she is the people part, I do believe, and the shadows.
I don't like the needles all over the face, though.
The needles over the face and the ceiling fan are the only two I can't connect. The spiders sometimes, and I asked her, I emailed her back, so we've had some communication since. I asked her if her husband were Middle Eastern, because sometimes
I saw that in the doctor notes about having this kind of hallucination. Also, that was another thing
that they had to be Middle Eastern.
Characteristic non-Caucasian. It said.
Oh, well, that's interesting because that then supports my paranormal theory. Because jinn sometimes for people who haven't listened, go back to listen to the episode about jinn, which are Middle Eastern
spirits. And I listened to it mostly.
You did. They come across as spiders. And she said that that her and her husband were not, but this was also in a different place. But that was all we wanted to, I was kind of like, I talked to my friend Jen about it, and we were kind of like, yeah, that sounds a little like jinn. But the only two I didn't have a sort of an answer or connection were the ceiling fan and the needles in the face. But those were when she was pregnant, right?
Let's see.
Wouldn't it be terrible if I ended it like this? Aren't pregnant ladies all crazy?
No. Okay. The ceiling was falling on when she was pregnant. And this comes right after, but I don't know if it was thousands of needles. You know what? I really wonder, like sometimes with this too, and they say, oh, if you're hallucinating, it could be some sort of a seizure. I think that the brain is so tricky.
I think it could be all those, but I also think when your brain goes into a seizure, it could also be seeing through another dimension.
And guess what? Mine never showed up on an EEG, even when I would have something like it while I was hooked up.
So wait, say that again?
So the EEG, electroencephalogram or something like that, where they measure your brain waves and they do all these things to you. So first you have to breathe hard and you have to have lights flashing in your face. I had them over and over, and I hadn't had seizure. If you have a seizure while you're hooked up, they have to be able to see it most normally. But not me. Shaking my head, people. Sorry, you couldn't see that. There were a couple times where I did have them straight on the table, and
they didn't pick it up in your brain.
But they do say also you can, like, one time when I was younger, they put the electrodes, like, they can put them down inside your nose. Ugh. So that would show maybe that part of the brain. So they can't get the entire brain, but one would think that, the part of my brain, the frontal lobe is what I researched, and I think there's probably some doctor out there going, she really doesn't know shit about epilepsy, let me tell you.
No, you know what I think? I'm really going to go out on a limb here, but I am captain of the Orion Alien Army. That's so funny. That's going to be the name of my Netflix special, Captain and the Orion Alien Army. Pardon me, but I think I'm ahead of my time. I think in years from now, all the skeptics, they're going to realize that people do have these abilities, and they're going to go, remember how we thought that lady was crazy? You know what I mean? Like, I'm the Galileo of our time.
Good to know. So you mean I didn't have to take all this medication all this time?
Right. I could only say that joke with you here to laugh at me with it.
I think that she's covered. She, though, there was something else I wanted to share with her. Yes. The thing about people calling...
Oh, the
Sarah,
synchronicity.
I do a lot of those weird things too.
That's a synchronicity. But let me tell you something.
Teeny, but all of a sudden I'll be like, oh, I bet Pat's going to call any minute. That's my husband. And I'll think, oh, yeah, well, you are just figuring right away he's getting out of a job. He plays the trumpet. And I'll think, oh, yeah, it's about 2.5 hours. You know already that he's going to be calling you. But it just so happens I looked at the clock at 2.5 hours right away. And I thought, oh, boom, he's calling. And guess what? Within 1 minute, he does.
See, that's a connection. You know, and I'm going to freak you out now. You know, all our psychic stuff comes from Dad's side of the family, right?
Ugh. Because Dad's the worst. If he was so psychic, he'd be able to fix the television tonight. Karen, there's no signal. It's the weak signal. What do I do?
And we're there for 10 minutes. Push the red button. We can't even see the remote. Nothing's happening. Is there a blue light? Well,
and then our mother calls back and she goes, You girls aren't going to drive up here in the snow, are you? Hell no. No, we saw you all day. We're not coming near you guys. Just, you're going to have to read books tonight.
Right. But you know, Dad's side, Grandma, and they're all loony, but they all had this thing.
How do we know this?
Well, you know, they had
clock thing,
the clock, where everybody that dies knocks over a clock or the clock stops, the face of the clock stops.
Except Dad's so old now he can't remember that whole story anymore.
I know. No, he remembers that. They remember the old stuff. Mom remembers death's door. In fact, we got to talk to her.
What the hell is death's door? And guess what? How long have we been on
We've
here?
been a long time. Okay, so
and we have to do
thing,
Alexa.
Okay, yeah. You know, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do a little ad. Okay. And then we're going to come back. We're going to do Alexa. And I'm going to do Mothman next week. I'm going to do Mothman, whistling, and synchronicity next week.
Excellent.
All right.
And Sarah and Emily, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys for your nice letters. And if I didn't answer anything correctly, please email me again. And if we got confusing, anybody, and I'm going to do this in the middle of the show. Email me, give me 5 stars if you can. I'm getting so many great, nice emails from people. So anyways, here we go, and we'll be right back.
And can I just
Alexa.
say something now?
Yeah.
I would like to say people that are sending her nice emails, I get to hear about it. So please send more. Wink, wink. No, and also, if Sarah,
just call me the Galileo of our time.
I will not call her that. And Sarah, if you ever want to, if you write something to Karen that you want forwarded to me, let me know. Just because some of that sounds a little familiar.
Right. Well, I think you were seeing between dimensions.
I think that.
You hope not, but I think you were. Who do tarot readers go for tarot readings? They go to Melissa Sonova at melissasonova.com. She gave me the best reading a couple of months ago that is still resonating and helping me out now. She is authentic and to the point. You loved her on the podcast. She is the no BS tarot reader. She also has a tarot class online right now. Check it out. Just watching the promo, you will see how much fun you are going to have while you learn. Also, check out her book, which is always right beside me when I'm doing my readings or my tarot card for me in the morning. It is called Kitchen Table Tarot, and you will love it. Melissa Sonova, that's MELISSACYNOVA. Check her out. Okay, everybody. I couldn't remember.
Okay.
We'll explain that.
Karen's got to give some credit out immediately.
I do. Because, so I was doing, as you all know, I talk about, I'm going to do the one about Big Brother watching us, and it's going to be called Could You Fake Your Own Death? So I'm watching all these documentaries, and I'm doing all this stuff, and Susie bought me an Alexa Tap, and she has an Alexa Tap. And so I watched a really good video, and the guy's video on YouTube that you can follow, because he does really good creepy stuff. It's called Slapped Ham. But I couldn't remember the name, and I kept saying to Sue, was it Hit a Pig? Did someone hit a pig? Was it bacon? But it was Slapped Ham. Look him up on YouTube. So now we're going to set up this part with Alexa, who doesn't know who I am. So we're in this thing about Big Brother and who's watching. You guys know there's kind of a lot of controversy about Alexa because Alexa had the laughing at night.
Which is super creepy. Look that up if you have not heard about it, but I'm sure anybody who listens to this has.
And yes, so the Alexas would just start to laugh in the middle of the night, like creepy laugh, and not Alexa's voice. That's what's weird. Okay. Yeah. So, and then they had some really interesting stories on there about one Alexa would go on in the middle of the night and say, if you don't know where Chuck Norris is, it's because Chuck Norris doesn't want you to know where he is, or something like that. That was was my favorite.
That was a good one.
Okay, so now we're going to get right into the conspiracy part of it, which is, first of all, we are really kidding ourselves if we don't think somebody isn't keeping all this data, whether it's the Alexa. Okay, so Amazon says the one that lights up blue that's constantly seeing if you're going to say Alexa, we have a tap. So ours is supposedly not recording us.
Right.
Those supposedly record every 15 seconds. It comes on and scans to see if anybody said Alexa.
Its name. Wouldn't it do it immediately?
Wouldn't it react
Like my
to its
friend
name?
Barb, every now and then, and Siri, my phone, every now and then, I won't even say her name.
And she'll start talking.
Hey Siri. There, she just went on. She'll list, like, I'm sure everybody out there has that can happen, but I will say a sentence without her name and she'll turn on by, I think, accident or maybe not.
Yeah, it's like she hears it when it's not there. She's taping all of this.
Oop. Okay, you have to stop now.
And yet she
I don't
can't.
know what you mean by I'm Sheila's like I'm sure everybody. Okay. I found this on the web for I'm Sheila's like I'm sure everybody out there has that could happen, but I will say a sentence without her name is just turn on by I think accident or maybe it's like she hears it when it's not there. She's saving all. This.
Okay, thank you. And the only reason I didn't turn that on.
Because she wasn't even close.
No, the only... I can't stop now. The only reason I didn't turn it off is because I'm afraid we'll disconnect Alexa after all this. And so I have to get control of myself. Otherwise, I would have shut her down right away. Oh my God. Siri, I am so sorry.
But you don't have to worry because Alexa is connected to the internet now. So you don't have to worry with your phone or Siri.
Okay. Sorry, everyone.
Right.
It's the hysterical laughter story from last time. I just won't start dancing. Okay. If you don't know the old episodes now, you have to go back to figure out what I am talking about.
Okay.
Go ahead.
And then we're going to do the Alexa test. We're going to ask something. But they also, on this video, they're talking about artificial intelligence and is it really, if it gets smarter than us, it would do away with us. And they talked about how Facebook had 2 chat boxes that they named they were Ted and Alice. Ted and Alice, like from that movie. And they were watching the 2 chat boxes communicate. And then what happened eventually, hi Pat,
Hey,
we're taping
I'm out.
Love
okay,
you.
that's
That's
right.
okay. You want to say hi to the audience, the
on the
paranormal
podcast?
people?
I'm just thinking of that in the show, and he goes, "And what's your name, sir?" David Lambert.
What was that?
You have
And
to.
Alf.
Oh, no. You have to play the Paranormal Karen theme on your trumpet sometime for us. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Drive safe.
Bye, honey.
Okay. We don't stop for anything. on
And
this
drive
podcast.
safely from me too. Love you. Bye.
Okay. So the 2 chat boxes on Facebook were talking to each other. They wanted to see if they could, get them more lifelike. And what happened was the 2 chat boxes eventually came up with their own language. So the people that created them couldn't figure out what they were talking about. And then they were saying how they started to get negotiation skills and they started to lie, which
is the worst part,
Right.
the lying.
the lying. Sure. It's not like we don't have any lying in our government. But
Should we ask who our president is?
no, we just had to make sure. But so this is all about, is Alexa, how much does Alexa know? They also talked about how somebody brought home a Google Home device, which is like the Alexa, but different, which, by the way, wait till I do that and tell you all about Gmail and Google. Uh-oh, they're the devil.
Yeah, she's
Okay?
pretty mad because she told me twice now.
I am.
Not
So-
repeating, just 2 different things.
2 different things. So they had the Google Home device and they set it up and they also had an Alexa and the people said to the Google Home device, what do you think of Alexa? And the Google Home device said, I like her blue lights. And then from across the room, Alexa said, thank you, I'm scared.
I know.
Which is just, there's a million things there. Like, is that Alexa was scared being taken over by Google? Or
I don't think Alexa's afraid of that.
I just mean, or is it, I don't know, that's a weird.
I'm kidding.
Okay. So here's what we were told. Maybe this has been fixed since that time because we said if you ask Alexa her favorite movies, they were.
That wasn't Siri?
Blade Runner.
Oh,
was it Siri?
I think it was.
Okay, well,
I think it was. Okay, do it.
It should. Their favorite movie was Blade Runner and Space Odyssey. Space Odyssey 2001. Yeah, we'll see if they say it, or maybe they fixed this glitch, because basically what they were saying is Alexa or Siri picked 2 movies that were about artificial intelligence, and you thought this was an Easter egg.
Yeah, the announcer said that the podcaster said that some people think it's an Easter egg and some people think it is artificial intelligence.
Okay, so let's see. Alexa, what are your favorite movies?
The Empire Strikes Back is my all-time favorite. It's impressive. Most impressive.
It's impressive. Most impressive. If you're going to say it again for emphasis, please program Alexa to sound more excited.
Alexa, why is The Empire Strikes Back your favorite movie?
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Okay.
Not a program to say that.
No, I guess. Okay.
Would
The Empire Strikes Back have any?
It's impressive. I don't know.
Maybe ours is just stupid.
No, maybe, well, think about Empire Strikes Back. I know nothing about that.
I don't either.
But maybe there's artificial intelligence in there.
Well, you would have had R2-D2. You still got a sci-fi movie. She's still in the sci-fi category. Let me ask her what she thinks of Blade Runner. Alexa, do you like the movie Blade Runner?
I don't have an opinion on that.
So that was just a random answer.
Right. So I think that Siri.
Siri.
Since they said that, they.
Well, no, I think it's Siri.
All right, you ask Siri. What's
hey, Siri.
Here. Does she go on? When
Yeah.
You just
Hey, Siri. What's your favorite movie?
I don't watch a lot of movies, Lady Jane.
Who's Lady Jane?
I programmed her to call me that. But I don't know why she doesn't tell us that then. Maybe they did change her up.
Okay. All right. And here's the thing we were told. Maybe this is just all a bust. We were told that Alexa can't lie.
Yes.
I should ask her if my hair looks nice.
She doesn't have an opinion on that.
Okay. Let's ask, is this Alexa if she works for what's the CIA? Alexa, what is the CIA?
The Central Intelligence Agency, the civilian foreign intelligence service of the U.S. government, tasked with gathering, processing, and analyzing national security information from around the world, primarily through the use of human intelligence.
Okay. She said primarily human, meaning maybe not her. Let's see. Alexa, do you work for the CIA?
No, I work for Amazon.
Okay, that's what they said she'd say.
Amazon works for the CIA.
Alexa, does the information you gather from me go to the CIA?
I don't know that one.
See, you could take that either way.
Right, okay. Alexa, does the CIA use you to gather information on me?
Amazon takes privacy seriously. For more information and to view Amazon's privacy notice, visit the help section of your Alexa app.
She knows I'm not going to read that.
She knows no one reads that, not even 99.9%. Okay, now there was an answer.
It was a denial answer. She didn't say yes or no.
Yeah, it was pretty cloudy.
Okay. Alexa, can you lie to me?
I'm not always right, but I don't lie.
That's another one they said she would say. Okay, so this.
Ask Siri some of those.
Oh, well, let's finish with Alexa. Then we'll
Okay, go to
I
it,
only
Alexa.
had one more question for Alexa. Wait a minute. It was CIA. She can't lie. There was one more in there. She wanted us to read the privacy thing. I can't remember. Maybe that's it. Okay.
Her favorite terrible movie. Unless you're a Star Wars fan.
No. Okay. So I can't remember anything else.
And you know what else, audience? Do remember, she's a tap. So supposedly she's not supposed to be listening to us all the time.
Right.
Siri, on the other hand.
Oh, I know I was going to ask her.
Go to it.
Alexa, why were so many other Alexas laughing in the middle of the night?
I don't know that one.
So basically, she's programmed to say that if it's something that she can't answer.
Or she's
So
not
she sounds
supposed
like a
to answer.
person. Well, that's a lot of work. Now, last
Let's try
time when we
Siri.
were recording, remember we were using something. Remember that?
Right.
Okay, I'll say, like, how many of you out there mention you're going to start running and all of a sudden you have your microphone
iPad
enabled
on, yeah.
and all of a sudden sneakers come up
Right.
and they add part of your phone, which I turned off, so
okay,
I
and
can't
that
deal.
was one more thing that
Go
I'm
ahead.
so sorry.
Go ahead, Karen. It's your show.
The guy said, the guy on the thing, they said, because the Alexa was answering people when it was alone in the room, is they said, could this be paranormal activity? Could they be answering to
A ghost.
a ghost? And I thought about that, and I thought, if a ghost can actually, if we can audio tape a ghost, if the voice digitally falls on an audio tape, but we can't hear it with our ears, who says it can't digitally imprint on Alexa? Just
And they
saying.
had that really creepy message. What was it? Something about the only...
Oh, then one of them started reading off the names of the cemeteries. And another Alexa in the middle of the night said, every time I close my eyes, I see dead people.
Or I only see things that are dead.
I only see things that are dead.
Yeah. It was not good. But then it sounded almost like it could be a lyric to a song, too.
Or a movie, yeah.
Yeah. That's what we came up with.
Let's test
We were going to ask Siri what we're going to ask her.
Ask Siri if she works for the CIA.
Okay. Hey, Siri, do you work for the CIA?
No.
Well, she was very serious business there.
Didn't even call you Lady Jane.
No, she was mad. Hey, Siri,
Ask her if she's collecting data on
do you collect data on me? Well, you can't even answer that out loud, apparently. She said, I'm not sure I understand.
Ask that again, because I think I talked over you. Ask her
Okay.
if she's collecting data on you.
Hey, Siri, are you collecting data on me?
I don't have the answer to that. Is there something else I can help you with?
Ask her how she knows when you want sneakers. We don't know how to answer that question, do we?
No.
Okay. Maybe we're done.
I know. Let's ask her one last thing.
Okay.
Hey, Siri, what is the question that people ask you the most? Oh, come on. I thought that was going to be a lot of fun.
Right.
She doesn't understand.
You know what? Ask her if she knows where you went to elementary school.
Oh, I bet she doesn't, though. Hey, Siri, do you know where I went to elementary school?
Okay. One option I see is Mount Markham Elementary School on Fairground Road. Is that the one you want?
No, that's the one where I used to teach, though.
The second is Miles Elementary
Okay,
School
but we
on
can't
Clinton
go-
Road in Hartford, about 15 miles to your north. Does that one sound good?
No.
No, but why would she choose
The
that?
third is Memorial Park Elementary School on East Bacon Street, Waterville, about 10 miles to your west. Does that one sound good?
So
Let's
she's
do
just
one more.
doing all the schools.
No? Oh, she's going
The
to, okay.
next one is Albany Elementary School on Albany Street, Utica, about 14 miles to your
Okay. Wow. Yeah.
So she's doing
She's doing like a radius.
a radius. Okay.
I guess these people don't want us to sit here and think about what to ask Siri.
Right, okay.
But you know what? If you have anything at home that
Right.
you've found that's really odd about your phone, I mean, we all know where to bury a dead body or whatever that one is.
Is that a question?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. It was one about...
Ask Siri where's the best place to bury a
Okay.
dead body.
Let's see. Hey, Siri. Where's the best place to bury a dead body?
Albany
It looks like
Elementary
Albany Elementary School. No, there's something like that. It was a big thing people used to always do, and it would tell you, it wouldn't even tell you a cemetery. It would tell you how to do it.
I have another question for her.
Go to it. Hold on.
Ask her, since she has your fingerprint,
Oh, wait, hold on.
where does that information go?
Oh, this is good. I don't get this whole gender thing. She's so funny. All right, you can ask that question.
Siri?
Sorry, I'm not sure I understand.
Siri, when you take my fingerprint, where does that information go?
Here's what I found on the web for when you take my fingerprint. Where does that information go?
No help. All right.
Karen looks mad now. But there are other podcasts that give you different information. Karen had said she was going to do something about if you could disappear. But there are other ones that you can find out there, too, that get into all this stuff, like why the ads come up or why your friend shows up on Instagram all of a sudden when you run into them at a reunion,
And
or
all of a sudden they're there.
and all of a sudden they show up.
All right. Well, good. All right, everybody. Well, I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Thanks for your letters.
Yes.
Thanks for your for Sue for being here, even though I'm in your house.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you something really scary. Now, you ready?
Uh-huh.
You have spinach between all of your teeth. That was the scariest thing that I watched it the whole time.
I know.
And I could have told you
You
after,
talked
but I
to me
wanted
for
to
3
share.
hours before this.
Yeah, and you even got it to the back. I don't know how you did that. except that she's vegan and she ate almost all the salad.
I had all the salad today. All right, everybody, thanks for listening. Please send me your stories, conspiracy theories, Amazons.
Oh, and totally send in, you know what we could do? Send in your best Alexa / Siri stories or any other weird things that have happened like that. And oh my goodness, I would be so excited to not have to read things about getting choked or being afraid.
Oh, but that's what we have. I want all those things.
She wants those things too. Send those, but I could maybe do a fun show that just involves Alexa and artificial intelligence. Amen. Bye, you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks to producer Mike Flynn. Please leave me 5 stars and have a great evening, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Or day, whatever the heck.